Okay, he's waving.
What's up, y'all? Sorry, I was muting. I'm trying to figure out getting the live stream going.
Says it's going.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're live with our crew, but we're not live on YouTube yet. Here we are. All right,
we're
we're
live.
live on YouTube.
We're in all
I
the
am going to
places.
be hanging out in the background in the chat, but I'm going video off because it's
All
after
right.
9 in Spain, which means no videos for Hotler. But y'all have a blast, and I'll see you in the chat, everyone. All right.
Thank you.
Hi. All right. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. I'm Katie. I'm the educational content manager here at Book Creator, and I have Pam with me. Pam is a technology and media instructional specialist at Cape Henry Collegiate.
Yep. Cape Henry Collegiate in Virginia Beach.
Yes, awesome. And so we met at Visti in December. And so here we are now, and we are going to do a little makeover of a book that Pam made for her students for book fair. So let's take a look at it. Oh, too far. All right, here we go. The Book Fair Caper. Why don't you tell us about your book before?
Absolutely. So, and no judging. This was my very first book creator book that I did, and I started it last year after attending ISTE and getting kind of jazzed to use book creator. So our school has a spring and a fall book fair. I am the, as you heard, the technology and media instructional specialist, but I also run our makerspace, our lower school library as well, and the book fair. So we've got a makeup of 1,200 students, pre-K through 12, and many of those students are NATO families. So we have lots of foreign language speaking students and new students. It's a very transient population. And so I created this to send out to teachers and to do like just a little kind of brief introduction to what the Scholastic Book Fair is. And kids get stressed that they're not going to bring money or they're going to forget when the book fair is. And so I thought, from all of their questions, I would create a book kind of about that. So this was done in a couple of hours, and you can even see from the front cover, I started to write it in black ink and then went back over it in the pink glittery ink.
Yep.
And I've been using Book Creator so much, I just haven't taken the time to go back and re-edit this, but it is a book I use every time we have a book fair. So that's that.
And I love it. So she's telling a story. She's giving some information throughout the story. You included this little, like the VR.
Yeah, and that's not our school. And again,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. I wanted it to look more like our class, like my school. So that's something that I love, but it's not our school. So it's confusing, especially to the English as a second language learners, because they don't know where that space is and it doesn't exist in our building.
Awesome. So we're going to take this and I'm going to just transform it a little bit with some ideas that I had. So before I was in this role, I was a tech coach, I was a science teacher. And so I have some instructional design frameworks that I always try and follow when I'm creating content, which is my job here, for teachers to use in their classrooms. So I'm a big practitioner of universal design for learning. So making sure that we're keeping in mind all the ways students take in information. And then I'm also an ISTE certified educator. So I keep those standards in mind as well when I'm designing learning experiences for students. And we all know that a book fair, while yes, it's like a nice fundraiser and a nice experience for students, it is a learning experience for them as well. And so
Totally.
I'll show a few ways that I'm thinking to pull like a little more instruction into your book. And then also you mentioned the SEL support, the anxiety some students experience. So I have the CASTLE framework here and those guiding things about social emotional learning. So keeping those things in mind, that's what I was keeping in mind when I kind of designed and planned this book.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So some of the key elements that I've thought about were making it an anticipation guide to support the social emotional learning, making sure there's support for multilingual learners, making it interactive somehow. And then if there's any opportunities for app smashing, to add those in.
Okay.
So we are literally going to do this live on TV right now. on the webinar. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to take our page templates, there's about 800 plus of them, and turn them into a book. So this is something you as a instructional specialist can do, or a teacher can do this. And hopefully I'll give you some design tips as to how you can really pull all of these page templates together into a nice book.
Perfect.
So let's get started. We always start a book with a cover. And so when I was thinking about this cover, I pulled some like iconography from your school's like logo and some like images I found online. And then I also found some images of the Scholastic Book Fair content. And I was like, okay, these are some inspirations, some ideas that I can pull into a cover. So I'm going to first add a page template. So I go up to media, I click on templates. We have a whole area that is covers. And so I can scroll through. I'm kind of keeping those reds and blues in my mind as I'm designing this. But I also know like I don't have to stick exactly to those colors. So if I'm going through here, is anything popping out at you that you really think would be great, Pam?
I really love that. I love the hello cover,
This one?
but
Yep.
I don't know if is it too busy? I love it. I love it, but I'm busy. So I
Well,
just
if you feel it's busy, it's okay. We can always pare it down. But I agree. I think this is a great one to start with. And so I'm actually going to go over here. Did one of these three images really stand out to you?
I like the books,
This
obviously,
one?
because I'm in the
Yeah.
library and I really like that one. Yeah.
And I think it goes well with the books that are on here as well. I'm just going to move this guy over here and I'm going to put that image here. But obviously, we don't love this white box. So let's see if we can remove the background. There
Love that
we go.
feature.
Okay. So now we have that nice background free image there. And then I think this is going to be a good one, the little circle, which we can kind of put in the corner. Again, we need a background removed from that. All right, there we go. So now we have like our logo here. Kind of tuck it in there. It doesn't have to be front and center. We could also maybe do this too. That might be an option. There we go. So now we have this book cover. I think it's nice. I think it goes with the theme, obviously, of the book fair. Um, and I think it's a good place to start. Now, if I really wanted to personalize it to your school, what I might do is here's one of my design tricks. So I make these circles and I want to get like the colors from this logo. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to click on the inspector. I want to change the color, the plus sign. I'm going to take the dropper and I'm going to pull this blue gray color, which is one of your colors. And now I have that bubble. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other colors in the logo. This is like my color palette, if you want to call it that, that I'll continue to use through the book.
I had no idea you could do that. Okay. I'm loving this even more.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull it really big because I think there's kind of a lighter blue in here. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I want to pull in my eyedropper. Yeah. See, there's this really light gray.
Uh-huh.
So there's my third color. I like to have, three-ish colors when I'm designing. So this is going to be really handy because what I can do as I continue to make the book is I can copy these three circles, these three shapes, and paste them into my other pages. And then as I need those colors, they're going to be right there for me. So that's just something kind of a design trick and tip to kind of make a little brand kit for yourself as you're designing a book. All right, so we have the cover. I think we're good here. I am going to hop into the next part, which is like information and environment is what I was thinking about here. And you provided me some like great pictures of where students were going to go. And I found this video on YouTube that's kind of like a little trailer about book fairs. Now, I will say that I found this video on their website, which is super hype. So this might be a
He's
video
almost here.
very exciting. I couldn't find it online and I could embed it into the book, but I might send this to my teachers and be like, hey, show this video to everyone, and then share the book with them. As I get them really excited. These kids look very happy about the book fair. But what I did find on this page is this nice tour of the book fair experience. And if you open it, and you look around, you can literally kind of tour this book fair. So I'm just going to copy this link here and I'm going to paste it and embed it in our book. And then you'll see, let's see, book fair tour. So we're building that apprehension and releasing some anxiety so kids know what they might see. So if you'll see, if you click this, students, when they look at the book, it will open in the window and they'll be able to take that little tour. So I thought that was really nice of something they already have like on their website. You don't have to build it, but we can embed it really nicely right here in Book Creator. You can see even that they can come here and look at the books that are going to be available at the book fair.
I love that. Okay.
Do some like window shopping before they go and buy the books, right? Which will lead to something else I have planned later. So these are like 3 things that I thought, okay, let's integrate this into a kind of what you can expect page, what you're going to see page. So let's find a template to put this in nicely. So in our page templates, I look at these like layouts. I don't look at these for, I kind of ignore the words on them, let's just say. And I look at them and I'm thinking, okay, I have 4 big things that I want to share. I have some photo, I have some video, and I have that like interactive experience, right? So I'm kind of looking for something, a layout here that has 4 buckets that I could put things in. And I'll just keep scrolling. This one, here we go. So this one, using our senses, right? Our topic is not about that at all. We're not about using our senses, but it has 4 buckets, and that's kind of, I have 4 things I want students to explore. So I'm going to put this in my book, and now I'm going to say library, or I'm going to change this to say where, because that's where it's going to happen. I'm going to say watch, and then I'm going to say explore. All right, so those are kind of the things. Now I just got to get my assets from over here. So where it's going to happen, putting my photos here. Got that one. All right, I got my video. And, oh, and that even matched even what, I did not even plan that. That kind of matched in the background. All right, and then my tour. So now I had that brand kit that I made. I want to come over here and now I want to make sure I'm utilizing these colors. And I'm going to say about the book fair. Okay, keeping that kind of clean. Now let's use some of these colors here. So I'm going to use the lightest color, which is the gray, or no, I want the blue, as my background on this page. I want to do this, apply that. And now I'm going to make these words red. So I'm going to come over here. Now that, about the book fair. Now we're kind of in the zone of the colors. Keep the black, that kind of works. This one matches, so I'm not upset about it. I can change these letters and just use this with my little brand kit that I made. And now it's all kind of in that color palette of Cape Henry Collegiate. So we're kind of going with that school theme. Now I can also come in here and I can record and I can do some recording here and I can say, the book fair is going to be in the library. This is some images of our hallway and library door so you know where you're going to go. It would be you saying it because they know you.
Right.
Here's my audio. I can come in here. I can add a transcript. All right. And since you have so many students who might be multilingual learners and speaking other languages, I can come in here and I can translate it. So I can like students can do the translation too when they get their copy. So if you have, like you said, many home language represented, you might want to like instruct them to do that translation on their own, since it would be a lot to put, 30 different voice bubbles on this page. Or if you have a most common language, you could do that language and then add that translation on the page as well. So now,
La feria del libro se llevará a cabo en la biblioteca.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I love it.
that's what it says. And the same thing, you can translate any text. So I'm going to right click on this text and I could translate that into a language too. But I'm going to show you actually at the end a way to translate the whole book. And so any of those students that, may have parents at home speaking other languages, really be able to support them and the parents reading the book. So we got the where, we got like a nice little video kind of introducing them to what a book fair is. We got that explore so they can go through and see the actual experience and what they can look at those books. So taking it to like another level and really like personalizing it to your school. All right, the next thing I thought about was going to book fair with, some students that are, have maybe different home languages. There may be some new words. Like I think there's e-wallet, right?
E-wallet is very confusing and stressful for many.
Yeah, so I thought we could come in here and we could look at vocabulary and we could kind of find maybe a template that covers a few vocabulary words that might be new to them this time around. So we could do this one. I like this one usually, which is nice. It has like a little picture, the word, and then a definition. If we add this in, I'm going to go back here and grab my colors again. So I'm going to pick this pink color. I'm going to change it to one of our colors, which is red. It's already there. Let's see. All right. So then I can just change this green to our gray. And now, as quickly as that, it's in all the colors of our book. So we're Cape Henry'd out. So now we can focus on the content. So the e-wallet. And what is an e-wallet?
So an e-wallet, they get a link and it's basically an online wallet. The parents can load money on it. So let's say they put $50 or $20 or whatever it is. And then when the kids come up to purchase their books, we can look up their name to see if they have any money on their e-wallet. And it's something that carries over from fall to spring and then even the next fall and until it's like a declining balance, if you will. And so the issue is that the only real way I can't manage it, and so that's stressful for me, the only way for that to happen is for the parents to do it from home or from this QR code that if they come and actually visit with them on the day of the book fair, then they can scan the QR code and add money straight from their wallet, from their literal, wallet and debit cards and things like that. So
got it. So we might be able to add some information about that in the book. But first, let's just say money. And so we'll put that little iconography here, that visual support for what that word is, like, right? There may
yes.
be some other words that would be new to our students going to a book fair for the first time. We could put those words here. And we might just change this to say words to know. And again, we could use our translation feature to support students, but I think kind of like having some like rooting vocabulary can be beneficial for some students. So that's an idea for another page.
I love it.
And then a checklist, like, is there things that they need to know before they go, right? So I'm going to come in here, look for my wallet or checklist options. And I like this one, looks pretty clean. It's already kind of close to the colors too. I don't have to do too much color-wise to change this to red. And then maybe, the teacher could come in here and say, our class goes at 9:45 a.m. So they could put the time in that their specific class is going to go. And then any other little information that they should know.
Yeah, parents are welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially if I'm sending this home to the parents, that would be great. And then they have like a preview day as well. So, and they have a wish list that they make on the preview day. So things like that.
Perfect. And with this, one of the things we talked about was making it a little interactive. And what I thought, one of the apps that we do have is Google Drive. And so I made a little document, let's say book fair. And so if you wanted to make like a way for parents to ask questions in a back channel, so I made this, and then we could come in here and say to Giphy and ask, maybe find a sticker that just says ask, or question mark's good. So that could be something we put here. So they can ask their questions, and the parents, if they click on that, will be taken to this Google document where they could ask questions. So if we
Love
wanted
it.
to add like a two-way communication, we could do that. So that's one idea. And then the next thing I have is goal setting. You kind of talked about a wish list, and I thought about that too, even before you told me that. And so what I thought we could do is there's a great template in here. We type in book. You will see a bookshelf. And what I thought students could do, come in here, books I want to read. Because we know when kids go to that book fair, they're not looking at the books first. What are they looking at, Pamela?
They're looking at the covers. They're looking at the
They're also
cover,
looking
and
at
they're
the fun
looking at all
stuff.
the tchotchkes. If we're
Yes,
talking, yes, they put them right there in the beginning, and they're looking
yes,
at all of that.
exactly. So what I thought is before kids go, they could write about the books they want to read and the books they want to find. So if they were to go back to this like kind of exploring place and zoom in into the books, find some of these books and like kind of remember, have that moment where they've kind of listed them in their book. Their parents can kind of, you know, view them too,
Right.
and have some plan before they go shopping. I thought that could be really
Love it. No, that's perfect.
powerful. And then the last thing I thought to add to this book is we're making it a whole learning experience. They're planning to go, they go, and then they're going to do some reflection, hopefully on the books that they get. And so we have some fun templates. Again, if you just search book for this one. So they could add the cover of the book they buy and then do a review.
Oh,
And
I
then,
love that.
and then yeah, and if everyone did one in the class, and it doesn't have to be a book they bought, it could be a book they have at home too. Maybe they're not buying any books at the fair, and that's completely okay. But every kid can do a book review of a book that they like or a book that they just bought and share with the class so that when they go back in the spring or they go the next fall, maybe someone knows about more books that they want to buy for that time.
And they do have like carryover books, so that's perfect. They have some that carry over from the fall to the spring that are really popular that they ran out of, and so they make sure they put those in for the next fair. So that's nice. Kids always want what their friend got and didn't realize how great it was going to be. So this is perfect.
Awesome. All right. Taking a look in the chat. David, were there any questions that really should be answered out loud? Let's take a look.
So I can tell you one person was really excited about the little brand kit that you made, but thought that that part maybe went a little fast and thought maybe at the end could re-explain.
Sure.
A lot of the questions that have come through I've been able to handle over message, but we could maybe review them at the end if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. So to make this little brand kit, I literally just went into media and I picked our shapes. So I pick a circle. I don't know why I always gravitate to a circle. I think because it mirrors what I see in the inspector when I pick colors. So that's just why I picked the circle shape. And so I go back to where I made it with the logo. That is really the key, is like having this logo here. So I'm going to pick just that shape, make a circle, pick a circle shape. That's step one. Then step two is highlighting the shape, clicking on the inspector, and then I'm going to pick the color. And I'm going to use this eyedropper, the eyedropper of magic, which when you click on the eyedropper and you come over here to whatever you're trying to pull the color from, it's going to pull that pixel of color that you hover over. And so I'm going to apply that. And now that circle is that color. I'm just going to
So
duplicate.
you went back to the circle. When you say
Yeah.
to pull that color in, you just went back to the circle and then to the eyedropper?
Yeah. So you see I have this circle selected right now.
Yep.
Then I click on the inspector. And then I click the plus sign to get to the eyedropper. And now you'll see that you can kind of see this magnifying feature that lets me know where the eyedropper is. And so now I just want to hover over the color I want to pick.
Actually, Katie, I think based on your share settings, we don't actually see that little icon, that little zoom in.
Oh,
I'm not seeing it on your screen share, but essentially when Katie clicks on that eyedropper, you should see like a zoomed in version of the little pixel that her mouse is over so that she can
differently. Let me
yeah.
share my whole screen instead of just the window. Let's see if that helps. All right. So now I have, I'm going to select this circle, this red circle. Gonna go to the inspector. I'm gonna click the plus sign and click that eyedropper. Can we see it now? So if I wanted to, I could make it this maroon color and then click apply. And now the circle is maroon.
Somebody just said they're only seeing a black screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it.
You don't see anything.
I don't see it either. No,
But I
it
see
kind of
it all.
fizzles out. Huh. Maybe it
Oh.
depends on what you're viewing it under.
That's very interesting. Okay. Well, hopefully in the playback video, it will show. If not, we can try and make one.
Someone said they can see it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said they could see it. All right. Try again. But I just
Oh, there it is.
change those circles. And so I like to have in any color palette I make, I like to have 3 colors. And I hope that one of those colors is kind of a lighter color, especially if the other 2 are a little bit darker, which is what the 2 main colors were, like kind of this dark blue and the red. So that's why I pulled in that lighter gray that was like on the edges of the letters, because I like a little contrast between the 3 colors when I'm thinking. It's always good to have a couple darker, bright colors and a couple more muted or light colors. Yeah. So that is, any other questions, Holler?
Yeah, one person did want you to perhaps go over how to embed the 3D image, the 3D tour again. That was something new. And also whatever share settings you had on before, I think go back to, because someone's saying that they're not seeing things the way they were. So
Okay, perfect. I will go back to the old share settings. There we go. All right, so this is this is their website. When I click on, this is the Scholastic Book Fair's website. So when I click start exploring, it opens in a new window for me. Oh, no, it doesn't. When I click on the actual picture, it opens in a new window. And I just copied the URL from it up here. I just copy that URL and I come over to our creation and I click on media and I select embed. And then I just paste this link that I got from the Scholastic website. And I have to give it a name. So I'm just going to say explore the fair and click add. And that adds it as an embeddable item. So when students click on it, it will open like that. There we go. And they are able to explore. What I also like is like, they can come in here and they can click on elementary school, apparently. I don't know what that does, but it does something. Oh, it's like an Easter egg of some sort. Okay. This is wild. But yeah, I think, do you think that this may clarify some of the communication pieces, Pam, of the book fair?
Yeah, I love it. I love being able to send, and I'm even thinking like including not only just a video of that, but having them click on the one that you've embedded there, but then also creating one that it actually looks like, because we've got, like I said, we've got pre-K through 12. So I do have a teen section to the library that nobody's allowed to go in except for teens.
Nice.
So, and they always worry about that as well. Even just the kids that have left our lower school area and gone to middle school are so worried that they're not going to get any space or get to come back for the book fair. So that just gives me a whole host of ideas. I love it. I love too how you also have, in working with different kids and working on different books now, having a page like this just for pictures you've already gathered. And it's almost like a brainstorming page. So they're not brainstorming every single time they're working on a new page. They've got a lot of ideas already there on one page.
And just thinking, you know, where you just said that kind of ideas, at the end, I was just thinking it could be really cool, a photo book. After the fair, like during the fair, you're taking pictures of things. You add and you like have this little celebration page of photos from the fair that year. And you could build these pages over the years of adding and celebrating what happened.
That would be awesome. Yes,
yeah, I
I
love this.
love it.
Lots of praise in the chat. Everybody's super excited. They're seeing ways they can use this in other ways. Katie, I know you're about to show us how you can publish this and share it with parents and teachers. Yep, here it comes. All right, that was the last question.
Two things. One was translate the whole book. So here I'm back in my library. If I have those multilingual learners, I can come in here and click translate. I can pick the language and I can translate that whole book for those different languages. But also the most important thing is to publish it online to share it out. So if I click publish online, I get the analytics after it's been published of who views it. I can make it public, which is what I want to do now. And I can either decide to have remixes on or remixes off. Remixes let other teachers copy that book. So I'm going to check remixes on because after our webinar today, I'm going to go clean up all the little things left from this one so you guys can reuse this. And it will be shared on our blog next week. So, or later this week, some point. So now I just
Yay!
click save changes. I have to give it a description, Scholastic Book Fair. All right, save changes. And I just share the link out, or I could put this QR code and hang it on the wall. If you had like a back to school night, you could put this up and parents could get to it. So thank you guys for joining. Pam, thank you for
Thank
being
you
a great guest.
so much. I really appreciate this. I have learned a ton. I've even learned not just for this book, but other books that I'm currently working on right now, especially with the branding. So I love it. I just love it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great evening and come back on February for another Makeover Monday.
See you then. Love it. All right, let's stop.